Right, evening. I know no one's watching at the moment, but hell, I'll still do a stream, quick one. So, as you know, I kind of like do bushcrafting, and up at my shelter, I've got about 4 saws. And the problem with sawing is that I have arthritis in my hands. I'm sure it's arthritis because they keep like getting really achy and cramping up and painful. There used to be the left one, which was more painful, but now the right one started up. And when I'm sawing, I've got to keep stopping to rest my left hand and to give my right hand a little bit of a break. That way, it takes a lot longer sawing wood. So, I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels, and they don't suffer the arthritis that I do. Right, so I decided that it's time, and I didn't really want to do it because I'm completely out of money again. I've probably got enough to survive on, like food-wise for the next couple of weeks, but that's it. I can't buy nothing else regarding bushcrafting. I was supposed to get some tape at Poundland yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. Plus, you only get a small amount of the silver tape. It's not like, the brown tape that you use for like packing up parcels, the brown tape, which helps for insulation and stuff like that. So I had to go on Amazon and order a couple of rolls, which should be here today. What else did I order? Oh, I had to order some brackets as well, which again I forgot to get while I was up at Streatham yesterday. But the brackets I've seen are a bit better than the ones I would have bought at eBay, not eBay. They're a bit better than the ones that I would have got at my local shops, and they're cheaper as well. But anyway, what did I buy? Well, I had to go and do it. I bought myself a little chainsaw. Yeah, that is loose because I've made it loose. So when I use it, if it gets kind of like going through a tree, it actually lifts it up quite easily without sticking. I could tighten it up, but I don't really want to use it too much at the present time. I've got some wood to saw outside tomorrow, so I can use that. Because I'll tell you what I'm planning to do later on when I go back to bushcraft. Anyway, this is a Lipop 24 volt LKI lithium -YX battery. On here you got like a safety button, so if I was to press that, it won't go. But you have to start it, you have to press that and that together, and there we go. So that's going to help me to do some cutting. Now I know it's only like a small amount of like blade. What do you expect for the price you pay for it? You can get these for about £40, but I bought one a bit more expensive because I wanted an extra chain, and I wanted a bit of a safety guard as well, and an extra one of these. So the one I've got, you got 2 batteries, the charger, 2 of these plates, and 2 chains, and this like little safeguard kind of thing. It doesn't stop, it flicking up wood or anything, so you've got to be careful. I don't know how long it takes the batteries to charge up. I think someone on YouTube did say up to about 3 hours. I've only had this for about an hour. I had a lot of problem, and let me just take that battery off. I had a lot of problem trying to like torque the chain, because what I was doing is I was putting it on, and it was loose, the chain, and I was like doing the screw up completely tight, and when you use the screw to screw it in, it still wasn't like tightening the chain up. So I don't know why it made it even more loose. So I just watched a video. I don't really bother reading bloody pamphlets and instructions. Find it boring. I'd rather try to either learn by myself or learn by someone else. So I just watched this video, and they said only do the nut up like a medium, and then you can like use the screwdriver to make the chain a bit more taut, and you can see, like, you know, it doesn't come out that much. I can make it a little bit tight if I need to, but I think that'd be okay for now. They do say leave a little teeny bit of a slack, and I think that's going to be enough. If it gets too loose, then you just like tighten up the screw again to make it a bit more tighter. Now, as I say, you can usually get these for about £40, but you only get the one chain and the one plate. I don't know if you get like one of these like little guards with it, but you only get one battery and a charger. So I spent out a little bit more, and I paid £56 for this damn thing. So I hope it's going to work, because if it don't work, don't do what I want it to do, it's going back. I will get my money back. Now, you know, I've got a battery on charge. You see, like, I've got this one here. One there and one there. So this one's actually on charge at the moment. And then after that one's charged up, I'll be charging this one up. Some of them do come in like, you know, proper like plastic cases, but my one was a brown box generic kind of crap. I thought I would have got a box for that. You know, even some of the cheaper ones get a decent box, like a case, but not my one. I should have a little bit more look around actually, but I really wanted one which had 2 chains and 2 brackets and 2 batteries. Not all the cheap ones come with, like, you know, the cases. It's more like the expensive ones, like you're talking about 80-90 quid. That comes with a box, but not even all of them come with a box, you know, like a case. They also come in a generic box, like a brown box. So, you know, the only way you're going to get like a proper one, like, you know, I could have paid an extra, which I should have done actually, an extra £4. I would have got a box with my one. And I would have got a proper faceplate. But, you know, I was trying to keep the funding down a little bit. But, you know, it doesn't matter. I just stick in my backpack like that. I'll tighten that up before I go to my bushcraft. And I'll even put it in a bag, you know, like a plastic bag, so it won't like tear up my new backpack as well. I'll take the spare bits up, the extra chain, little socket, little socket wrench, the extra plate, the extra chain, and the screwdriver that comes with it. And I don't see many people use it, but I have seen a couple of YouTube channels where they use a little bit of oil, but sometimes the chain can slip. So I bought some a biodegradable chainsaw oil. This is the smallest and cheapest one I could find. That was like £9. So, you know, doing bushcrafting can be bloody well expensive, as you know. I hate to say how much money I spent out on bushcrafting over the last year and a half. You know, quite a lot of money. You know, quite a lot more than I would have probably paid for a PC, I think. And that PC was like £500. No, sorry, it wasn't 500. It was like 350. I probably spent more than like I could have got a computer for, because, like, you know, the time I spent on all the different saws, hammers, the spade, the knives, the nails, the screws, God knows how many tarps, about 20 tarps. What else have I bought? Locks, padlocks, brackets. I've just ordered some brackets, will be here tomorrow. That was another £8. No, more than that actually. The brackets were like £12. Because I'm going to be doing some alterations on the camp when I go back up there. £11.95 the brackets, and you get like 8 brackets with the screws, and that's it. Yeah, you get 2 different types of screws, the small ones and the long ones. You get those like little plastic things you hammer into the wall. Well, I don't need those, but the 2 different screws might be, you know, helpful. But I've probably spent more than like 350, 400 quid on bushcrafting over the last year and a half, which is a bit stupid. I know, but we all know that hobbies do cost money. Like milk detecting. My son bought me my last one. That was like 150 quid just for a milk detector. But I have actually bought, in the past 12 milk detectors before he bought me one. And that was like 100 and so quid each. So what I have to do, I have to like really budget my money. If I want something, I have to like work out how much I'm paying out on food and how much I can actually reduce that cost on food, so I can put the money towards what I need to buy. Sometimes I only eat like once every couple of days. As long as you've got something inside your stomach, that's the main thing. Sometimes I don't really buy nothing, and then I can buy food every single day. I've been getting a lot of chicken actually from Poundland. You get like 6 pieces of like pre-cooked chicken for 2 quid, and I usually like stick them in the microwave because they are microwavable, these chicken, because they've already been pre-cooked. I can like cook 3 of those, and I'll just eat 3 of those for dinner. And they do come in different size, and it's mostly like the side bits, the bony bit. But my one actually has a side bit. I think he's got a breast and some drumsticks. And I'm not really keen on drumsticks, but for 2 quid you can't really grumble. You can make 2 meals out of that. I've got rice I can use, in the old Mexican rice. I can stick with it. Or I can go in and buy like some potatoes and like make potato jacket, which I want to do one day at the old bushcraft, because I've not made baked potato jacket up there yet. I've had barbecue. I was going to get some pork. I've not been out today because I had to wait in for that thing and the oil. I still got a delivery due today from Amazon, so it's a second Amazon delivery, and that's for the tape. Because as I say, I went up to Streatham yesterday and I completely forgot about getting the grey gaffer tape, which I need to put around the tarps to stop them flapping. They will flap, but when you got 2 overlaying, the wind's coming through, the wind comes down and back up and causes a draft. So the ones that are over flapping, I'm actually taping up next time I go up there, which hopefully will be Friday. Yeah, because I've got waiting for that delivery for them brackets. So I'm hoping to make a shelf or 2, so I can put more stuff in there. Plus I need the tape if they turn up today. I think I've got some kind of like the little brackets that kind of like fold over, like the ones that you put on the door. I'm sure I've got a few of those. So I need to continue doing that second storage. I say second because I don't want to keep using the bed bench all the time, because I've got to keep pulling all the stuff out of it. I've got to pull all the insulation out at the bottom and lift it up, and it's not really like screwed down, so I can still use it. But the tools I was using, cutlass axes, a saw, hammers, I just like stuck in the other one without any kind of covering whatsoever, and I've never had anyone breaking in up there. So that's a bonus at the moment. I've had some like kids up there, trying to like peek inside, but I've got a wildlife cam up there, and if someone does break in and I see them who it is, then I can always go to the landowner, Ron, and say, look, we had someone breaking in. This is the person. We need to contact the police, and then get the police involved. But I've only had a few kids up there, trying to peek in. Now, what I want to do, apart from the shelter, doing the actual shelving and continue doing the second / storage thing, I'm thinking about taking the front wall down, because now I've got a saw. There's some dead standing trees I can saw down, and they do have more of a straighter appearance to the wood. So the ones I'm using are kind of crooked, and what's happening where I've used them, the actual wood is gone like crooked like that, and it's not giving me the straight section which I need for the door. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking part of that section out and then redoing that with straighter wood if possible, and then that way the door won't have those gaps in there, because when you close the door and lock it, you can see a massive gap at the front, at the top. Now when you're inside and you lock it, that gap disappears because like you've got the bolt inside closing the door and bolting it, but then there's a gap that appears at the bottom. So either way, you know, it still needs to be done. So I'm hoping to do that when I go up there Friday. That'll probably be the first thing I might do. The tarp, you know, putting tape around the tarp, I can do late in the evening when it gets dark, because I will be staying up there another night. I'm only staying up there one night. I'm not going to do 2 nights again, not yet a while anyway. 2-night ones might be again, you know, around about this time next year. I'll probably go up there and do like daytime, nighttime, and then like half a day or 3/4 of a day just before it gets dark, because it is getting dark a bit earlier now. So you know, on a second day I'll leave, you know, plenty of time before it gets dark, so I know what I'm doing and where I'm going, because sometimes those woodlands, you know, I have to cross over barbed wire, step over barbed wire, and there ain't just one lot of barbed wire, there's a second one which is hidden, and like any of it, you know, like I've got a flashlight, you sometimes can't see it. So but yeah, I had to get one of these because it's going to help me. You know, it's quite light, even with a battery on. It's I've only tested it on like a cane, you know, one of those like garden bamboo canes at the moment, and it cut it okay. Although, you know, holding it with my hand, it did flicker a few times, but it did cut it, and that's with a loose chain. But now, you know, there's not much of a torque to it, so that should be okay. If not, I think I can tighten it up a little bit more. But you don't want it too tight, because if you have it too tight, apparently it can jam. And also, the video that I saw, that he said sometimes the wood can get stuck in there and jam it. Or not only that, sometimes it can overheat. So that's why you might need a little bit of oil to stop it from overheating. So, you know, I don't know how good this brand is, but, you know, £56, you should fucking do its job, otherwise it's going back. And I'll make sure it goes back. I want to get one like with a bigger blade, but say like they were 80-90 quid, you know, kind of thing, which I can't really afford to buy. I was only like about to buy that one. I could have got the other one, which was like 40 quid, but as I say, I only had like one plate, one blade, and one battery. And one guy said that these batteries do not hold the charge as they say they are. Like a 20 volt, a 24 volt works out to be like a 20 volt. And not only that, like you can charge these up, which take 3 hours apparently, and you'll be lucky to get about 50-60 minutes or X amount of like cuts on the wood. You know, the guy I was watching last night, he showed how much wood he cut with one charge, and it's quite amazing actually, you know, how much wood he did cut. But it's mainly like, you know, small branches and stuff like that. If you've got like a thicker like branch, say like that big, that's not going to go through. You know, you've got to like cut through and work around it and go underneath it and go on the other side of it, you know. So there's a lot of work doing some of the branches. And the blade, you have to have the right way round, so otherwise it ain't going to cut. So I've looked on the manual, and I've also looked on a couple of videos, and that blade should be the right way round, because otherwise it wouldn't have cut that bamboo stick. So, you know, I've got that working. 56 quid. The only good feature with that is that, you know, you can't accidentally turn it on and, like, you know, cut your hand open. it's got that, like, you know, security stopper there. So you got to press that in, and then, like, you know, press the joystick button. Say joystick button because that's what it looks like to me. But no, push that in, then press that button, then it start off. Once you actually let it go, it doesn't stop straight away. It does still spin around for a few seconds. I have seen a few where that, you know, the higher price ones, that once you release the actual trigger button, some of them do stop, you know, immediately. But, you know, with these cheaper ones, you know, a lot of people are saying that these are really, really good. So that's why I decided to get one. You know, it's a lot easier than sawing with a normal saw, and it's a lot easier than using a hatchet. So, and I did watch a video, know the free cuts that people use. You can actually do, you know, a nice little free cut on it as well. So I'm going to try this out and give it a test run, and, you know, hopefully it's going to be okay for what I want it for. I'm not going to leave it up there. I'm going to bring it back all the time, unless I've, like, you know, complete the storage thing and I've got it all locked up there. So I will be putting another padlock on the outside door as well, because I've only got one at the moment. So I'll probably put a second padlock on there. Then I might leave it up there, but I won't leave the battery up there because I need to bring the batteries home and charge them up. Shame that I don't get sponsors, you know, because I'd like to try some stuff from sponsorship, but no one wants to sponsor me, which is a shame. Even with the bushcraft knives I bought not long ago, and I thought I lost them, but when I came home and was in the kitchen, I asked them if they would, like, you know, be good enough to sponsor me, but they didn't reply to my email. I think it's down to this. Is what I hate with, like, sponsorship here. They don't give the smaller channels a chance to test out their equipment, because we don't have the channel, you know, we don't have the views, we don't have the subscribers. You know, I've noticed a lot of video channels, YouTube channels, where they've had like 15k subscribers or even 5k subscribers, and, you know, X amount of views. And even people who do have that channel, you know, they get sponsored, but it doesn't mean that they're going to get people who's watching their video going back to their company and say, oh, I saw that guy sponsored, you know, and, you know, I like what he's got, you know, I'm going to buy it off you. You know, it'd be nice to see some, like, smaller channels being sponsored. You know, I've only got 42 viewers, 42 subscribers, yeah. Now, I like to see this channel grow if I can, and have, like, you know, a couple hundred by the end of the year. I would like to try to get 1,000 by the end of next year, so I could probably, like, you know, get it up monetized, and hopefully that people would, like, sponsor the channel or subscribe to the channel, donate to the channel, so I can buy more equipment, and by buying that, then I can give reviews. So there was an article where someone said that you can actually get free stuff sent to you, but you got to keep, like, reviewing and reviewing and reviewing other people's channel, other people's equipment. And the only way to do that is by, like, everything you bought on Amazon, you've got to give someone, like, a positive review on it, yeah. And if someone, like, let's say, like, there's a company called Outdoor Woods or something, yeah. Just made that up, Outside Woods, and they do a lot of, like, kind of like outside tools, you know, like cutting tools, knives, you know, gardening tools and stuff like that, yeah. If they see that you're giving that, you know, all these reviews to different people, yeah, then you might get the possibility of someone coming to you and saying, hey, look, you know, can we sponsor you? You know, can you do a review on that, on our equipment? That'd be cool, you know. I'd like to do that, but I'm one of those people who don't leave, like, reviews on everything, because I don't think most of the stuff I've got deserve a review, to be honest with you. Now, even some of the knives I bought are complete shit. they don't even cut. You know, you can't even cut a branch. You can't even cut a little sliver because they're so blunt. I know that, you know, it's more for security reasons, I suppose. But, you know, I've seen YouTube videos, channels, where they've bought stuff and apparently have been razor sharp. But all the knives I bought off Amazon, which ain't that many, have been blunt as hell. Even hatchets. I've got like 3 hatchets up there. And every one of them have been blunt. And I've had to try to sharpen myself. And I'm not all that good at sharpening stuff. Because of my arthritis. You know. So what I do sometimes is use me my grinder. But by using the grinder, you're cutting more of the metal down. And it can actually weaken either your saw, or not your saw, but your knife or your hatchet. You've got to use a proper stone. And I've got 2 or 3 different stones, and I've used them, and they still don't seem to like sharpen up. I've even used files. Only one axe that I sharpened the other day, which I took a bit more time on. Got a little bit sharp, and I was able to like cut some of the wood that way. But, now, when you've got arthritis, and you know you're trying to get out and do some decent stuff, you know you're trying to get out and do a hobby. You know you can't really work with a blunt knife, can you? You know if those to put down on their listing, say like certain name of a knife, like you know the green knife or something, yeah, and it's like £35. And they say knife comes, you know, already sharpened, and put like a warning stating that the knife is razor sharp. You know, then that way you know it's razor sharp. But I think out of the 4 knives I bought on Amazon, they've all been blunt. Now you could run your feet across your hand. I'm not saying you should do, but you know, you could run it across your hand and it won't cut you. Even the new ones I bought off a different website, they was blunt as hell. Even the machete, which I got from the same website I bought me other new one, blunt as hell. Now I went out the day I got it right. I kept it to one side, and when I went up there, I think it was last week. Yeah, I took it up there, and it's all overgrown, you know, with brambles and stinging nettles and stuff like that. I thought, right, time for the machete. One swipe, it didn't even cut a stinging nettle. It didn't even dent a fucking stinging nettle. I thought, shit, okay, so this was a waste of time buying a machete. And I felt the blade. It felt like it was sharp, but it's not. It's fucking blunt. So I've got to find a way of getting that sharpened up. I can ask my landowner, Ron, to see if he can sharpen them up for me. But I remember last year I had a knife, and I said to him, "Oh, is there any chance you can sharpen?" No, actually, it was an axe, one of my hatchets. I said, "Are you good at any good at sharpening axes?" He goes, "Sometimes." He goes, "What you got?" I said, "Well, I've got one of those sharpening stones, one of those like long things. I can't show you because it's up at the bushcraft." And he goes, "Yeah, all right." And he tried, he sat there doing this, for about 10, 15 minutes. And guess what? It wasn't any sharper than it was before. He goes, "I think what you need is a file." So I bought a file, and I tried using the file, and it did make it a little bit sharper, but after a few hits onto wood, cutting it down into tinder, resizable little cuts. Because the most of the wood I've got up there, I think one of the biggest one is about that big, right? But most of it is like small logs, that kind of thing. And I was able to saw them down, make my hands bloody ache, cut them down into like manageable pieces like that, put them down on chopping block, which is just like a tree stump, and whacked it. And a couple actually cut straight away, but after about 4 or 5 of them, that's just got blunt. What's the point of buying stuff if they're not sharp enough when you first get them? And it's not, I know there's videos out there on how to sharpen stuff, yeah, but they don't really go in depth and saying well, you need this kind of sharpener, you need this kind of grind, because you've got 200, 400, 600 and 800 and 1200 and 1600. They just show you, they just sit there. They don't tell you what kind of sharpening stone you need. They don't tell you if you need oil or if you're just using water. I was watching a channel the other night, actually, one of those primitive ones. I think he's in what was that bloody country called? It's one of the Far East ones. It's not far from Cambodia. Vietnam. I think he was in Vietnam. And I said to him, like, you know, I left him a message. Because, like, when I'm watching these videos, like, one whack, he's chopping down, you know, these bushes. He's cut the hits. He's cutting down, like, branches like that thick with his hatchet. Not his hatchet, his machete. So I just said, like, you know, I left him a comment. I said, is there any chance, like, you did a video on how to sharpen a machete? Because I've bought one and mine's completely blunt. And he did reply, said, yeah, sure. So he's going to do it, I don't know. But there's not really many videos on telling you or showing you or teaching you how to sharpen stuff properly. No, I sat there and watched about 10, 15 videos over the last few weeks here. How to sharpen a hatchet, how to sharpen a knife. All they're doing is showing you a grind, and they're just going. They don't tell you what particular grind it is, you know, if it's like a 14 or 16 or 18, you know, grinding stone. You just like, what, you need one of these, and you need to go back and forwards, like you do it 10 times that way and like 10 times that way. I've done that. I've done 10 times that way, 10 times that way, and it's still blunt as hell. You know, I think a lot of these videos are just bullshit, to be honest with you. They think they know it all, but they don't know it all. Now, how do we know that, you know, they're using two axes the same, right? One's already sharpened and the other one isn't sharpened. And they're using the blunt one to make it look like they sharpen it. And they put that down and they bring out the sharpened one and say, look. And they get a piece of paper and go, shh, you see a nice clean cut. You know, you don't see them holding like the sharpened one that they've actually sharpened and still have it in their hand and then go, right, here's the one I've just sharpened, and then put a piece of paper down it and see the paper getting cut. A lot of these videos are fake, I tell you, man. A lot of them are fake. And another thing, what gets me right, yeah, I'll tell you what gets me right. Some of these, like, you know, primitive far world ones. You know, I've been watching some females out in, like, you know, Cambodia or Vietnam or fucking China, wherever they are, yeah. They're supposed to be primitive and they're supposed to be, like, you know, building things from scratch without no tools at all. Now, there's a new one I was watching yesterday, and yeah, okay, she's got a hatchet and she's like cutting down the trees, and she's like, you know, made a nice little shelter using bamboo leaves, you know, around the side to like stop the rain and on top of the roof. If she done it herself, I don't know, because you could hear someone in the background. And for lighting, you know, oh, she sparked, got a little fire going, and then all of a sudden everything's bright, you know. Think, well, hang on, it's meant to be pitch black, and it's like, you know, a football field. How the hell did she carry a car battery into the forest with a spotlight? That's not primitive, is it? I thought, that's fucking cheating. You know? And I see, like, you know, I know in this country, yeah, we don't have the facilities or, you know, the trees that they have, you know, because they usually use a lot of bamboo, yeah. We don't have bamboo over here. If we do, like, you know, you've got to have it, you know, shipped to you, you know. I know there are, like, tree companies that do, you know, grow them, I suppose, in a specific way, you know, depending on, you know, the conditions, you know, the weather, atmospheric and all that kind of shit. They might grow them in, you know, massive, great big fucking what they called, tree shelter things, you know, great big glass and like, you know, glow them under a glass house or something. I don't know. I have actually looked for bamboo and I have found one or two, but they're just like the little bamboo plant things, you know. So like we don't have that, but bamboo is a lot more easier to cut and it's a lot more sturdy and it's supposed to be very strong. We don't have that. We have like ash, pine, birch, maple, and, you know, shitty stuff like that, you know, kind of thing. The only good thing we have got is pine because it does give you that extra little bit of burning fuel. Around here, we ain't got no pine. Can't find pine anywhere. So I was watching a guy called East Anglia, I think it's East Anglia Bushcraft, and he lives up north, and you know he's surrounded by pine. His name's Craig, and I said to him, "Well, I wished I had fucking like you know lived in that area to get some pine, you know, get some hot what's it called, hardwood, you know, whatever it's called." And he goes, "Why haven't you got none down?" I said, "No." So I've got to keep bloody buying this shit, you know, it's cost me too much money buying it. So he goes, "Well, if I'm out next time, I'll try to get you some." So I said, "Well, you can, you know, I'll pay you back, you know, on the postage, or I'll send you like a little, you know, goodie box up. So if he's going to get me some, I don't know. But I know he likes those soft Harlow sweets. So every time I go up to Pound and I buy a packet, I've got like 4 packets of these Harlow sweets he likes. Well, 3 of them he likes. 2 of them he likes, but I've got 2 different brand ones as well. Same Harlow, but different sweets in them. So, you know, if he gets me some, you know, pine, I'll send him some sweets up. Because he always like, you know, bring a pack of these Harlow sweets. So he said they used to like be a sniper in Vietnam, not Vietnam, Afghanistan years ago. And somehow, you know, he used to get packets of Harlow sweets and, you know, he's always been like keen on these sweets. And now bushcraft, he always takes a packet with him. He's always like, you know, saying, "Can you find the sweets?" You know, and he's putting them up on the trees like a little tease or something, you know, kind of thing. So I thought, well, if the guy can get me some like bloody, you know, pine, it's not costing him nothing, is it? You know, if he's like, you know, surrounded with pine, and he's up north, you know, East Anglia. You know, all he's got to do is like, you know, pick a few bits up from the ground or whatever, you know, or cut a bit from dead trees. It's not costing him any money, is it? Really, all it's costing him a little bit of time. So if he does it, I'd be grateful. I know his name's Craig, but I've not seen a new video on him over the last week, you know. So I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, but going back to these primitive, yeah, you know, there's a couple of women who's built a shelter, right? They've used the machete, they used the axe, they cut down bamboo, but they're also using hardwood. And you know, normally over there they use vine and string, yeah. But these 2 fucking like Vietnam women are using like electrical equipment, like you know, electric saws and you know electric screwdrivers and God knows what else. That's not primitive, is it really? Because primitive is where you use everything from nature itself, and all you're using is a hat. Well, I've actually seen a video where they're just using like a piece of flint to cut trees down and made into an axe. I think it's 2 brothers actually. You know, everything they've built from, you know, nature. They even found minerals from the ground, from the local river, right, to smelt down into copper, and they've made like their own axe out of copper. And the way they sharpen that is by, you know, stone and water. They made a hand trowel so they can make cement and put the cement down. Can't remember what the channel's called, but they're pretty good. And that's what I call, you know, real primitive. Not where, you know, you got, you know, people going out with like, you know, saws and, you know, electric saws, electric screwdrivers, you know, car batteries to run fucking lights and shit like that. I know it's all different, you know, because like, you know, bushcrafting. Bushcrafting is also like, you know, kind of like wild camping, going out and using, you know, what is there. But, you know, when you're limited to what you got, and you have like, you know, illnesses like, you know, like I've got arthritis and, you know, kneeling on my knees, hurt my knees and stuff like that. I do need that little bit of help. So, you know, some people say, well, you're cheating. Well, yeah, you know, but, you know, you can't call yourself primitive if you're using electrical tools, you know, like handmade tools, you know, kind of stuff. That's not primitive, is it? Bushcrafting can either be out and you're using like just a knife and an axe or a machete, you know, and you're building it a bit like primitive. But mine's like kind of like 2, maybe 3 in 1. It's like, you know, bushcrafting, camping, and maybe like, you know, something else which I can't think of. But I do need tools, you know. I'm not in any way really cheating, because I do see a lot of people, you know, building cabins out there on YouTube, especially like people in America. When they're building cabins, they're using electrical stuff like, you know, electric saws, you know, screwdrivers, all different kind of things. You know, they're bringing in generators, you know, for lights and stuff like that. So, you know, there are different ways of like, you know, I suppose like building stuff. But if you're, you know, you're supposed to be primitive, you're supposed to be primitive, you know, you're supposed to be like Stone Age, using like an axe made out of flint or something, you know. Not cheating like some people do. I've got to have my own little moan, you know, kind of thing. But anyway, I hope to give this a go on Friday. I'll probably go up there Friday. I just got to wait for that tape that's supposed to be turning up today. Then I've got those brackets, which ain't coming until tomorrow. The tape is not telling me what time it's coming. It says arriving by 10 o'clock. Usually when it's close to you, it comes up on the map. But it's not giving me any information on where the driver is. Now, I did say to the driver when he delivered this saw today, I said, oh, are you going to do another delivery today? Because I've got some stuff arriving today. He goes, all right. And that's it. He didn't say yes, he's going to be delivering, or it's going to be someone else. Oh, another thing on here, yeah, you got like a little kind of like, it's supposed to be like non-slippery. It's supposed to be like, you know, meant to have a pretty good grip on it. And then like, you know, it's got like this little kind of like handle to stop your hands keep slipping off. But the only thing is, like, you know, it's not screwed down like it should be. I thought they would have put, you know, although they gave you a second screw, I thought that would have been used as a screw, but it's not. So hopefully this will be okay, and I won't have to return it. But if I do need to return it, I'll have to return it. But going back to, like, you know, people getting sponsors and stuff like that, you know, I wish these people who do sponsor people give like the smaller channels a little bit of helping hand time to time, because I'll be willing to give an honest review of anything I buy, you know, and it would be an honest one. If I get a knife and it's blunt as shit, I'm going to say, well, yeah, it's a good knife, you know, it feels nice, you know, it grips nice, but, you know, get a piece of paper and you try to cut in it and it's blunt as shit, I'm going to say it's going to be blunt as shit. So, you know, same with an axe or something, you know. Same with any kind of equipment like a camping kettle or a tarp or a sleeping bag or a bivvy or something like that, you know. I don't have a bivvy. I do have a hammock, which I've not used yet, because everything's so overgrown now. You know, I don't want to be putting a hammock up and point it up wrongly and suddenly like I get into it and fall down and end up in, you know, a bunch of stingers or bramble, because I can't cut it down yet because I ain't got a fucking sharp enough machete. So I've got to try to learn how to sharpen up the old machete before I put up the hammock. And I only put that up, you know, because I was going to put it up the other day, actually, because I was so bloody tired. I thought, well, you know, there's too much bramble, too many stinging nettles there. If it falls down, you know, don't put it up right, I'm just going to might get stung to shit. Probably scratched up as well, so I just went and laid down in my little cabin on the bed. Laid there for about an hour. I mean, it didn't really do when I was up there last time, to be honest with you. Well, I did start on the second night, you know, storage thing. I say the second one because like the first one is like a bench bed, as I say, and it's like a storage, and so you can sit on it, you can lay on it, but at the bottom you can lift up a couple of like little bits of a plank of wood. And most of my tools and stuff were in there, but when I left, I couldn't be bothered to put it all back in. I just put it in some boxes, and well, I put it in like the bit I've built. I've not done the side bit yet, which I need to do. So I need to do that. Then I've got to do something at the back because there's a big kind of like, I suppose, like log that's stopping me from putting something at the back. I'm going to do it, but when I do it, there's going to be like quite big gaps there. So I've got to sort something out there as well. Once I sort that out, then I've got to find wood to make the actual top bit, so it kind of like lifts up and flops down, you know, with the brackets I want to put on. So I know I've got some of the brackets up there, but the ones for the actual like shelving I don't have. I've only got one pair, and that's too big, to be honest with you. But what I did take up was some like these little Powerland like black containers. You know, I took two of them up, and two other little containers where I put like batteries and other bits and pieces. You know, a couple of electrical bits and pieces in, and then another one with food. Left that all up there. Every time I go out there, I'm taking like a massive backpack up there, which is completely heavy as hell, and I'm carrying stuff in my hands. But this time, when I got there, it'd be one backpack and one bag with some wood, which I'm going to be cutting up tomorrow. Now, I know you're saying, well, you can get wood up there, yeah, but these are like, you know, little kind of like planks of wood, you know, cut-offs from somewhere, which I got ages ago. I'm hoping I can use that for something. What I do is cut it down to size. More, you know, use it like a door frame kind of thing. Because I don't have any wood like that up there anymore. I don't think I've got any in the living room. Sometimes when I find a piece of wood and I think, yeah, I could use that, I'll bring it home. And either I stick it in the living room so it keeps dry, or I stick it out in the balcony. I think the stuff on the balcony is like kind of like rotten. I'm not sure until I check it out tomorrow. So I want to cut some down because like some of it's like about 8 foot tall. But anyway, I'm off. Don't get something to cook and eat. Probably cook some of that chicken again. Tried yesterday. Cook 3 or 4 bits of that. Might cook some rice with it as well. But yeah, I'll hopefully be going up there again Friday. So up there Friday, staying up there Friday night, coming on Saturday afternoon. Then I'll get the video sorted out, and that'll probably be Sunday when I upload videos. All right, well, cheers for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.